Well, good evening. I'm Jim McGinnis. Welcome back to the porch. Stella and I are hanging out right here. I've got something to share with you tonight before we go to bed. She's giving me the stare, but anyway, I've talked before, but there's some things that are rather unique that perhaps you haven't run across that are found on the pages of Sabal Palm, my new book, and for the large part, this is the works in here. The selections are here in narrative form. Most of them poetic, but nevertheless longer narratives. But that is not the case through the whole book. There's some other smaller items that I wanted to share with you, and that are plucked from those pages. And there's about 3 of them tonight that I thought you might enjoy. As I've said before, first and foremost, it's the story that matters, and this form allows me to boil the stories down to transitory moments and let those moments stand on their own, even if there's only bits and pieces. They're fragmentary and transitory. Anyway, here are a few that I don't think I've ever read out loud. If I have, I've forgotten, but I hope you don't forget them. Actually, the ones we're going to look at tonight, there's 3 of them, and one is called "It's Good to Know," and the second one is "Disenthralled," and the third one is "To the Ticking Clock." So I hope you enjoy these. Anyway, here you go. "It's good to know" was something I wrote on the road. I get some things done driving down the highway, and I was missing being home, and this is what poured out of me. It's good to know. Driving down the lonely road, 47 miles from home at 10:30 on a Thursday night. As I cross the St. Johns River, I see a boat offshore. It's good to know there are men fishing tonight. It's good to know there are men in taverns perched upon their bar stools, talking politics and swapping tales of the great Ted Williams. It's good to know there are old men sitting in their dens reading, dozing off every now and then. And there are men telling stories to their kids, then kissing them goodnight. As I blast across Route 50, headed for the East Coast, I think back upon a week of work and worry, and I curse my maddening hurry. Still, it's good to know there are men fishing. It's good to know. Now, quite a few of my works have been inspired from students, and this is one called "Disenthralled." And I don't get to church a lot these days. So many things that I believed have fallen by the ways. I don't get to church a lot these days. It's hard to get your hopes up anymore. Every time you do, fear knocks you to the floor. I don't get my hopes up anymore. Truth is strewn like dry leaves on the ground. I can't feel much goodwill, it seems. There ain't much of that around. Every time we stand to speak, we're shouted down. But I talk to God a lot these days, I've found. She sees him in everything, she claims, and admits that there are times she feels a bit ashamed for trying hard to earn what he gives for free. Grace can't help but get the best of me. I can see the light in children's eyes. Their tears and laughter strip me clean of all my alibis. They take me back where faith is raw and love can disenthrall. I might get my hopes up after all. I may not get to church much anymore, but I feel closer to my Maker than I ever was before, spending Sunday mornings beneath the shade of ancient trees, or walking down the beach just to feel the salty breeze. Grace can't help but knock me to my knees. P.S. I went to church last Sunday. Disenthralled. Now the third one is called To the Ticking Clock. And I believe one of my friends in Blythe Simmons Grossman actually likes this one. She not only is a good friend, but she served as one of my editors on a book I wrote a few years ago, and I'm in her debt. So I remember her when I read To the Ticking Clock. Here you go. Where he once could not abide to chronicle the time or tide, he's taken now to wear a watch on quiet walks downtown. Is it innocence revisited, wisdom lost or found? He's given now to sip his scotch where once he gulped it down. And to keep his mind unbound, to see the beauty all around, he now lifts his head up from the grind, paying close attention when once he paid no mind. Now he flies away on daydreams, not shackled to the ground, where once he spread his life so thin, now he boils it down. To the Ticking Clock. Well, I hope you like those three, and they are found on the pages of Sabal Palm, among other places. Until next time, fair winds.